Dated before. It's such a small world and completely unexpected, but it got me to thinking of, some of the funny experiences, but also some of the pros of some of my dating experience. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Fozia, and my channel is all about life, pursuing happiness, and all of the things you learn and discover along the way. Being accountable for your mistakes, as well as, really celebrating all of your successes. Today I am filming from a different location, a messy one. Ignore what's happening back there. We're checking out in a few minutes, but I had this video in my mind for a little while, so I figured I would take a stab at just filming it. So I'm married now, but I've had all of these funny experiences dating. And this video came to mind because I had this very serendipitous experience here where I am, where I met up with a friend and she happened to be renting from someone I dated before. It's such a small world and completely unexpected, but it got me to thinking of, some of the funny experiences, but also some of the pros of some of my dating experience. So here goes. 3 things I learned from ex-boyfriends. So the first one comes from a boyfriend from high school, and one of the things he always said to me, and it was basically, don't let people catch you slipping. But really what he meant was that often people will kick you when you're down. So when you're feeling your absolute worst, that's when you should look and try to present as your best, because the moment people see and sense that weakness, they tend to just like dive right on it. And at first I'm like, God, this guy's really paranoid. But professionally, in all of the time I've been working, I've seen this play out so many times, and not even necessarily for myself, sometimes for other people as well. So while he may have, had his own thing going on and might have been his own personality, I'll definitely agree with that you shouldn't let people catch you slipping, because unless it's like a safe space, people you trust, people you can count on to allow you to help uplift you when you're down. But otherwise, I couldn't agree more, particularly in a professional setting. Unfortunately, vulnerability is not always something that people admire. Don't cry at work. The other thing I was reminded of, and thing number 2 that I was reminded of from someone I dated, is never consider sunk cost when making a decision. And if you haven't been to business school, sunk costs are costs you can't recoup. So something like time or money that's not refundable. Basically, if you can't get it back, why is it impacting the decision you're making today? Because regardless, you're still not getting it back. Though there have certainly been oftentimes in my life where I said, oh, I already spent so much time on this, I don't want to give up now. But it doesn't make sense. If it's something you don't want, like, why are you still going to do it just because you already spent time on it? You can't get that time back anyway. So this was something we talked about a lot when I was, when I was at my university in business school. This is something that we talked about a lot, and I think it couldn't be more true. And I think it applies outside of business, just generally in life. It applies to friendships, it applies to work, it applies to special projects. Anything you're doing, this totally applies. So the next time somebody's wasting your time and you've overcommitted to something, it's time to move on, just remind yourself, never consider sunk costs when making decisions. If you need to move on, just move on. So the last thing that I learned from exes is that love is not just about love. Love is about timing, it's about space, it's about health, it's about being in a frame of mind to give love and accept love. And I know this sounds all preachy, like everybody says that, but I think it couldn't be more true, because as I think about these different people who I dated or who I was in extended relationships with, I may have even at some point felt really connected to them, but I wasn't open and in a space to accept love. I thought that's where I was, but retrospectively, I know that's not where I was at that time in my life, I didn't love myself enough, and I certainly didn't trust others enough to be vulnerable enough to accept love. So while, you know, you live and you learn and you have all these relationships and experiences, one of the things I'm really grateful of is that I was able to see those things, not just about the people I chose to date, but about myself, and that really influenced and shaped how I approached other relationships. And honestly, it's something I'm still working on. Well, honestly, it's something I'm still working on. I'm not saying that you can't have love, but I do truly believe that lasting love is all about timing and being in a good headspace to give and accept love. Alright guys, those are my 3 things I learned from my exes. Tell me in the comments below what are some things that you've learned from your exes. That's it. Alright, anyways, I'm really awkward at these videos. I didn't even put on makeup today. I just kind of got up. I'm sort of taking this out. That's why I look so crazy, but whatever. You guys get the point. 3 things I learned from my exes. What have you learned from your exes? Comment below. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the